So very good morning, everyone present over here. I am Dr. Jaiti Sharma, Head School of Communication. And on behalf of Amity University, I'm very warm welcome once again to everyone, all the deans, directors, and most importantly, our chief guest and the guest of honor of the day, to this inaugural session of Orientation Program 2020. We are extremely excited to have you all amongst us, and we are looking forward to a fun-filled, exciting, and experience a lot of a session that is full of experiences and full of knowledge. Um, we Because this is the first day of our orientation program. Today we have along with us people who have not only worked for many years in the field but have gathered a lot of valuable experience, and they'll be sharing all those experiences, all those learnings with our students today through this orientation program during this inaugural session. As far as our students are concerned, I can already see it is a yet another batch of very promising, brilliant, and committed students who are wanting to live up to their dreams, who are wanting to make their dream careers. And as once Vivekanand said that, if you want to be successful in the life, take up one idea, make that one idea your life, think of it, dream of it, live on that idea, and let every part of your body, muscle, your cell, nerve, breathe that idea. And that is the way of success. I think the panelists who have joined us today have practiced this in every bit of sense. And I'm extremely proud to share with you that today we are by Shri Kamal Singh ji, who is the Executive Director of Global Compact Network India. He is the chief guest of this session. Thank you, Kamal Singh sir, for joining us. And your presence makes us furthermore excited to have this session. We're also joined by Dr. Anil Kumar Mishra. He is the CHRO of magicbricks.com. He is the guest of honor of the day. We are excited to have amongst us Professor Amit Jain, who is the Pro Vice Chancellor of Amity University, Rajasthan. The Dean Students Welfare, Professor Sanjeev Singh Bhal, and also in the audience we have all the deans and directors who are very excitingly welcoming the new batch of 2020. So without further delay, may I request Professor Amit Jain, the Pro Vice Chancellor of Amity University, Rajasthan, to deliver his address. But before that, let me give you a very brief profile of Professor Jain. Professor Jain is currently the Pro Vice Chancellor, Dean, Faculty of Management, and Director, Amity Business School at Amity University, Rajasthan. Prior to this, Professor Amit Jain was the Director, International Collaborations and Professor Tapni School of Business at Manipal University, Jaipur. He has been a visiting professor with University of Technology, Sydney, Australia, Hungary, and other previous positions included Director School of Hotel Management at Manipal University, Jaipur. He has also been Associate Professor and Chairperson MBA program at JK Lakshmipat University. Professor Amit Jain holds a PhD from Sardar Patel University and has completed FDP from IIM Ahmedabad. He is actively involved in teaching, training, research, and is associated with various management and training institutes as a guest faculty, such as Bank of Baroda, Staff College, Ahmedabad Management Association, ICFA University, Sardar Patel University, and many more. He has designed and conducted training programs and sessions for executives for various organizations, including IDBI Bank, Bank of Baroda, BKT Tires, JK Tires, JK Papers, Claris Life Sciences, Vida Clinical Research, Natraj Foods, Trimurti Foodtech, Emol Infotech, and many more are there in this list. He has several publications to his credit and has presented research paper at national and international conferences organized by institutes like Singapore Management University, University of Technology, Sydney, IIM, and IITs. Has also received award for 3 research papers at national and international conferences. His professional associations include life membership of Indian Society for Training and Development, and currently hold position of chairman with Jaipur chapter. He is a member of All India Management Association and IIM Ahmedabad Alumni Association. He is also the reviewer and committee member with several journals and conferences, including IACSIT Singapore, International Association for Business and Economics, 8th International Conference on IT and Management, Turkey, and has been the editorial member of Indian Journal of Training and Development since 2016 and 17. His area of interest for research, training, and consultancy includes marketing strategy, sales management, marketing communication, retail management, and entrepreneurship. Without further delay, may I request our Pro-Vice Chancellor to deliver his.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jayati, for this comprehensive introduction. This being first day with all my young, new, budding entrepreneurs, technocrats, and managers. Fine, I accept all these compliments with all humility and humbleness. Thank you so much, dear students, parents, chief guest for the occasion, Mr. Kamal Singh ji, guest of honor, Shri Anil Mishra ji, Director CRC, Mr. Vinod Tejwani, our Dean Student Welfare, Sanjeev Singh Bhal sir, Head IT Pachori ji, all my deans and directors, all the faculty colleagues, and all those who are attending this session along with the students, maybe their parents, their siblings. A warm welcome to each one of you. This is a great occasion for all of you because you embark on a new journey today. And this journey can take you to success like anything in the life, because this is the time where you will have a lot of opportunities to understand, explore, experiment, as well as be inquisitive about a lot of things in the world. This is a great opportunity for all of you because education is not a one-time affair, right? It is said that instructions end in the classroom, but the education ends only with life. That is, education continues throughout the life. And today you have taken the first big step towards your higher education. And that's why I must congratulate all of you for making a right choice, being part of one of the largest and the widespread global institution of India, Amity University. It's a great opportunity for me also to welcome in this session our panelists, the chief guests and the guest of honor, who come from different domains of industry with vast experience of corporate world, of academia, of voluntary organizations, UN and all. So we have an excellent panel of speakers lined up to give you an overview of this orientation program. It is planned to be a 5-day orientation program, and we prepared our schedule, and the schedule has been shared with all of you. But just to give you a glimpse of it, almost every day we have an industry expert coming here talking to you, of course virtually this time. Probably this is the one of the program that we are doing online, completely online, where we have experts from across the country and even overseas. So we have some senior professors joining in from universities in Europe also in days to come. So it is going to be a 5-day orientation program beginning today. This is the inaugural session. Every day you will get exposed to the university systems, structures, the functionaries, the officials of the university. They'll be talking to you about the teaching learning systems, the academic systems, the evaluation systems, the infrastructure at the university, what you can do and what you cannot do or you must not do in terms of the rules, the regulations, and the norms that we follow at Amity University, Rajasthan. So I'm sure this 5-day of orientation program will give you a good understanding of how your next 3-year, 4-year, 2-year, as the case may be, is going to be, and how you can take maximum benefit out of the available infrastructure. Dear students, you will be in company of some of the best minds in the country. You'll be taught by some of the best faculties in the country who have very rich, not only industry, but academic, national, as well as international experience. So it's a great opportunity. Amity University, Rajasthan is set up with a global vision and thrust on innovation, research, and industry connect. And as you can see in this very first session itself, we have a galaxy of speakers representing the industry, representing the academia, and representing the voluntary organization or networking associations like UNGC. We at AUR are committed to achieve excellence in all areas of knowledge creation, delivery, and use. We ensure that our research and academic endeavors facilitate creativity and innovation. We have a well structured as well as flexible curriculum. Students, you must be aware by now of some of the highlights of our academic systems and the curriculum during your interaction with the admissions team. But I would like to emphasize a few more points here. And there are some uniquenesses that we have as a system in Amity University, Rajasthan. And one such uniqueness is that we believe in making all our students global citizens. So you will be compulsorily doing one foreign language, and you will get 4 options to do that. So you have French, German, Spanish, and Mandarin as option to pick up any foreign language, because we believe, and this is a credit-based course, compulsory. Another uniqueness that we have, and which is testimony of our commitment towards the research, innovation, creativity, and building skills and employability of the student, is our focus on behavioral skills. So we have one component of compulsory behavioral science courses in our curriculum, where we help students to build their soft skills, their presentation skills, their confidence, definitely gets a boost once they are able to go through all these modules of behavioral science courses that we have. Another uniqueness we have is our focus on communication skills of the students. We work a lot through different modules. In addition to that, in order to make our students industry ready, we organize a lot of workshops, seminars, guest lectures, and simulations. We encourage our students to face a lot of competitions so that they get exposed to the external environment, to real world environment, go out in the industry and perform to their best. We have state of the art infrastructure and facilities complement our academic ecosystem and enhance the teaching learning process. We encourage our students to discover new perspectives, see things differently, and develop an entrepreneurial mindset. Dear students, I'm so pleased to share that we have a full-fledged, a beautiful facility created as part of Amity Innovation Incubator, which is our in-house incubator. Through this Amity Innovation Incubator and Entrepreneurship Cell, which is a student body of student volunteers who work along with the incubator, we help students to come up with their innovative ideas, and we help them to convert these ideas into successful ventures. So these are some of the highlights. What a wonderful opportunity you have. In addition to doing your own degree program, your own academic program, you could be CEO of your own company from day one. And that's the beauty of being in a system, being part of a university like Amity University, Rajasthan. The faculty members of the institution interact constructively with each other. They provide great learning opportunities for students. Students are able to develop team building skills, leadership, communication, critical thinking, problem solving skills, which are in fact suitable for each and every field. And I'm sure my industry colleagues will be able to highlight the importance of all this in detail once they address you. To start with and to introduce you to the Amity University, Rajasthan, I would like to share a small PPT and give you some orientation about the kind of facilities and the kind of work that you will get to see. Just a quick check from IT team, is my PowerPoint presentation visible? So you are going to be part of 150-acre next gen campus for the Gen Next. So as you can see, the picturesque environment that you will get once we are able to fight successfully this COVID pandemic and we are back at our campus. The campus is missing you a lot, and you have so much things to do here, so much to explore, so much to learn. Established wide Amity University Rajasthan Act of 2008, recognized under Section 2F, empowered to award degrees, accredited by NAC and ranked amongst the top institution in the state of Rajasthan by NIRF. So these are some of the credentials. Our Honorable Chairperson and our Chancellor, Dr. Aseem Chauhan, is the guiding light. Here, I take this opportunity to welcome you once again on behalf of our founder president, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan. It is his vision that has led to development of Amity as one of the largest education group in India with 15 campuses overseas, 10 universities in India, and his vision is to have at least one Amity University in every state and close to 40 plus campuses overall in the country. We are expanding, we are growing internationally also very fast. Dr. Aseem Chauhan, Chancellor of Amity University, Rajasthan, as an individual is passionate about innovation, is passionate about entrepreneurship, and he himself guides and mentors these student startups whenever he visits our campus. In terms of our rankings, we have been ranked by NIRF, Educare, DataQuest, The Week, the best private university. We had some of the best dignitaries and Nobel laureates. Professor Mohammad Yunus happens to be an honorary doctorate from Amity University, Rajasthan. Same as Dr. Narayan Murthy. So in every convocation that we have, we invite dignitaries, Lord Jeffrey Archer, Dr. Vijay P. Bhatkar. So we have organized great international conferences in association with a lot of industries, a lot of academic institutions and global institutions. We have MOUs with several industries, and these MOUs help us to facilitate our students' internship, training, as well as their final placements. We are part of CII, the Confederation of Indian Industry. We have 200 plus memorandum of understanding with global international universities. As you can see, the list can go on. We have 5 centers of excellence. Amity University believes in positivity and happiness. We believe in strong moral values, and we always follow these strong moral values, which are inculcated in all of us by our founder president, Dr. Ashok K. Chauhan. So we have a Center for Positivity and Happiness. We have a Center for Ocean and Atmospheric Science. We have Yunus Social Business Center. We have Amity Center for Mycobacterial Diseases. We have Interdisciplinary Center for Climate Research and Policy. We'll get to know more about these in next few sessions. Most of these sessions are performing very well and are helping not only connect Amity University Rajasthan with the society, but helping the communities around the universities to develop their own ventures, develop their own entrepreneurship, and we are trying to help them to develop their skills and earn a better livelihood. These are some of the achievements of the centers that we have. We have a world-class infrastructure, 120 high-tech labs and studios. We are talking about being a multidisciplinary university. Most of you would have heard about the new education policy, and now the new education policy is talking about multidisciplinarity, or the new education policy is talking about interface between the teaching, research, learning, and practice. As a system, Amity University Rajasthan has been following it from day one. We have a minor track option available where any student from any domain can select some other area of study. Maybe an engineering student can take up a minor in marketing, a marketing student can take up a minor in journalism or a tourism or a hospitality. So this kind of flexibility or the multidisciplinarity that government is talking about now, we have been following it as part of Amity education system for many years. These are some of the glimpses of our moot courts, our libraries, our studios and the labs that we have. We have some of the best state-of-the-art research equipments funded by a lot of government projects, best classrooms, an amphitheater, an auditorium, this orientation program. This is the photograph of the previous orientation program, and I thought, okay, I could not call you to the auditorium this time, but at least let me share this picture so that you get the idea that what kind of a system you are going to be part of. Well-stocked library with thousands of books, and in addition to that, we have numerous e-resources available. So if I count the total resources that are available in terms of library, the number will go in lakhs. We subscribe to some of the best known databases, the Harvard Business Review, the best of the Scopus, then SCI, then AppSco, then ProQuest. These are all the databases. Through these, you can read any journal that is available in the world and update yourself. We have excellent hostel facility. The hostels are in apartment style so that you get your own privacy, but at the same time, you learn to stay together as part of a team. We have beautiful faculty residences. So this is an entire ecosystem where the learning continues round the clock, because your faculty members are here at the campus, I stay at the campus, if you stay at the campus, so the learning continues. It's a round the clock learning system that we have, because learning never at Amity University, Rajasthan, never ends in the classroom. We have medical facilities, ATMs, best of the sports facility, on-campus saloon, departmental store, multiple cafeterias. So we don't want to restrict our students with the one single choice of a canteen or a mess. We give multiple options, and you have flexibility to have the kind of food that you want. So there are 5 different restaurants and the multiple cafeterias that are available at the campus. I'm sure this is to my all dear parents. I know we cannot compete with the home cooked mother's food, but we can assure that they will find the food equally good, because most of us also take food in the same canteens, in the same cafeterias, and through a special committee, we make sure that students decide what will be the menu, student monitor the quality, and student supervise the entire process. So that's the flexibility in terms of sports. I don't think any institution would be having the kind of facilities, at least in the region. If I talk about, with a 150-acre campus, we have a golf course, we have horse riding, we have shooting range. We do a wonderful sports event called Sangathan every year. And then there is a Maha Sangathan, which is the event of all Amity universities combined. We have a good gymnasium, and there are so many lawns that are available that can be utilized for other kinds of fitness activities like yoga, aerobics. The campus life is full of learning, is full of fun, full of joy, right? We don't believe only in book-based or classroom-based education. So there are a host of opportunities available to each and every student here to showcase their talent, to participate in sports activity, in cultural events, in talent shows. The gala event that we do called Odyssey. We organize a lot of academic conferences and seminars where The students get to listen to some of the best experts from the industry and the research institutions nationally and globally. We have our Director, Corporate Resource Center, CRC, that takes care of the placements. And I'm so happy to share that Amity provides you best placement opportunities. Even during the time of COVID pandemic, it has not affected us much, because I'm so pleased to share that almost by February, all our 80% of our students were already placed. And that's the sign of our commitment in terms of providing the best quality resources to the industry also. And the reason industry people always look up to a university like AUR, Amity University, Rajasthan, because they know that these students will be equipped with required skills to perform in the industry from day one. So our focus on employability leads to a lot of skill development, a lot of training, and a lot of self-development of the students also.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm sure after going through this bird eye view of the campus that you have just given through your presentation and talk, the students will be extremely proud of their association with Amity University, Rajasthan, and they must be looking forward to experience it personally. Dear students at Amity, it is believed that learning never ends and the journey of excellence continues forever. Your journey of excellence has already begun when you chosen Amity University, Rajasthan. And what could be the better way of learning that first lesson when we have such experienced people? So learning the first lesson from people who have practiced the excellence for many, many years and have redefined the word, the very popular and commonly used word called success. I'm happy to share with you that today we're joined by Mr. Kamal Singh ji. He is currently leading as Executive Director of United Nations Global Compact Network India. He holds postgraduate diploma in personnel management and is an alumnus of JNU. Prior to joining UNGCNI, he was the Director General of National HRD Network, wherein he contributed a lot and has been awarded many times for his outstanding performance and initiatives. Prior to this, he was the Director AIMA, a national apex body of management profession in the country. During his stint, the AIMA, he was instrumental for launching new initiatives and brought to AIMA's several initiatives, thereby building profile and equity with its stakeholders. He is on the board and on the subcommittees of several organizations, institutions, including Bureau of Standards, India Standard, BIS, IP University, IIM Ranchi, JIMS, BML, Munjal University, IILM, PIMTech, Manav Rachana International University, Jaipuria Group, GAIL, Pashma Developers Limited, etc. He is the winner of several accolades and awards. He likes to contribute beyond business towards building human capital index of India and world. In his tenure of 3 years in GCNI, he has championed the Sustainable Development Goals, and SDG 5 gender equality is one of the primary focus. He initiated several path-breaking initiatives in its basket of activities that winning huge accolades from UNGC, New York, and its other stakeholders. We can't wait anymore to hear it from our chief guest of the day, Shri Kamal Singh ji. May I request you, sir, to bless us with your words.
So, thank you, Jayati ji, for your wonderful introduction. I don't know how much of that I really deserve. But let me say it is truly a privilege and pleasure to be here. Respected Dr. Amit Jain, Pro-Vice Chancellor, Amity University, Professor, my colleague, Mr. Anil Mishra, my dear friend, philosopher and guide, CHRO Magic Bricks, and my dear friend, Vinod Tejwani, Director, Amity University, Corporate Relations, and my own faculty member here, and also my dear budding professionals. Good morning. It is truly a pleasure and privilege. I mentioned to you, I have several reasons to be here. One, I considered that Amity University is one of the most admired university who will be able to give you all the knowledge, skills, insight that will help you to become a responsible leader, manager, or entrepreneur, whatever destination that you choose, because it has all the facilities and equity that you would need for building your career here. Number two, I also believe that Amity University is somewhere I had a long association right from the beginning when Amity Group itself decided to venture into education from Noida campus. So from there, those early days, I know how today this university has become a globally acclaimed university all over the world. So Amity University Jaipur, for that matter, is one of the most admired. So I am happy to be here. And last, why I am here, because I believe our relationship with all the people on the dais right now, right from Amit ji, Vinod ji, or even Mishra ji, so all have somewhere all association of the past. So anywhere something that they ask me to do, I never have the courage to say no. So I am truly feeling very energized to be here all with all of you. And as I mentioned to Vinod, that in the next few minutes, I would like to share with you my some thought. One thought is that what kind of a business environment that you are in. Especially, experiencing the situation of COVID-19, we are facing unprecedented challenges, never in the history of mankind that I can see all these years. And so in the first part, I will talk about the challenges. And the second part, I will also like to share with you whatever little experience that I've gathered, that what kind of manager or leader the industry looking forward when you pass out from here. So you will get to know all domain knowledge, all curriculum knowledge you will get from your respective faculty here. But I would also like to share at the end of my PPT that yes, these are the few tips that will help you to become a more responsible and more capable and more sought after leader, whatever career that you choose. So I was referring to the COVID-19 situation. You know how it has changed the entire business economy, not only in India, but around the world. Everything got really stuck. And now we are looking up as to how we can really change. Otherwise, if there is no economy, there is no business and there is no life. So simple. So globalization, because we are part of the global village, like all of us, everything that happens in one part of the world, it affects the other part of the world. And competition has become so huge and so tough. So there is war for market share. And all of us also know the one thing that India can say, which is good for us, is democratic dividend. And all over the place, because of India traditions, the values, the kind of education it has got, Indians have arrived all over the world, whether in industry, academia, or in technology. You know some of the name, whether it is Google, whether it is Microsoft, whether it is the MasterCard, or you name any company, they are virtually, there are 37 companies as of now headed by Indians globally. So that's where Indian talent is sought after. And companies are also looking at more less diversification and more focused business, because if they want to do business, they want to do in one area, that is the area that they are capable of, and they are building their equity on that business and then growing on that business. I'm giving examples like Infosys or Wipro. If you look at today, they are into one business. And if you look at the Mahindra, while it is a big conglomerate, but they are now trying to consolidate their business. So whatever business any group decides, they will consolidate in that and they will become a market leader of that business. And speed of market is the overriding need. Everything people want on push of the button, because we are born now in a push of button kind of a scenario. If you want to order a pizza, you want to get instantly. If it is not delivered on time, you cancel the order. So that's where the business is all about, the speed. And merger acquisitions, companies are merging, acquired, or de-invested. So I will give you the example only of yesterday. The Future Group retail business has been acquired by now Reliance. So why? It is to consolidate the business of retail by Reliance company. So there are several businesses that have been either sold out or have been acquired, or they are having a joint venture. So that's where one, probably the business is getting affected. And technology innovation are the key differentiator today. If you do not have competitive advantage on technology, if you do not have the capability of innovating, your business is finished. So technology has become the game changer. You know how technology is impacting our life everyday basis. I don't have to tell you, so many examples are around you. We never heard the name of Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or even the LinkedIn. All are today part of your life. So these are the things that business are today being leveraged on those lines. Internet e-business, increasing expectation of both customer and employees. The customer is also very demanding, so is the employee. Employee also looking at that, if you are not able to look after my aspiration, my capability, I have other choices. So there is a lot of challenge on that front for company, how to get the best talent and retain them. And equally for the customer, how do I lure away the customer to my business, and how do I retain them for long? So with that, there is a ever increasing mobility of talent, and what for talent is the buzzword nowadays everywhere. So you have seen this scenario. And now if you look at how we are able to make the business more focused, and whatever the career that you are going to choose. And I must congratulate you that you have chosen the right career and right approach for picking up a right university to study, that is Amity University. And this is where it will take you lot of possibilities of making you a very, very good case for holistic development. As Dr. Jain shared with you, that kind of possibilities that exist on the Amity campus is enormous. And you must look at those opportunities to leverage during your whatever period. I think I'm sure 2 years certainly for this is there. And this 2 years will be a game changing for you, as he had given you the example of Eagle, and also the complete story. If you look at, it is all about the possibilities. It is all about looking at your potential and how do you harness that potential within your own way. And in these 2 years, to a very polished person, where every industry will be looking forward to leverage your capability going forward, and companies will be looking for you to get hired. So if you look at the challenge that I have just now shared with you, it is all about new normal, shift to digital. Companies are going for how do we become digital, and digital is the answer. Facing and recovering from economic downturn, accelerating pace of change, technology game changer, as I mentioned to you. Competition has become the order of the day. Time, speed to market has become the key differentiator between the performing company and the non-performing company. And government regulations and lockdowns are disappearing by, of the day in terms of how we need to get back to the business and how do we do that business within the regulation that government has allowed in few areas, and now in every area that you have a regulator. So employability, if there is a talent scarcity, you want good people, but good people in every business are not there. So therefore, you have to be good people. Employee welfare and engagement has become key challenge for every HR heads. I'm sure Anil will certainly will make a reference to that. And so what kind of a scenario we are moving from earlier to now, we have changing expectation. Earlier, we were looking for higher quality and good quality of service, higher quality of product, and faster turnaround. And we are also looking at good turnaround time of good service. But now today, we are evaluating these products and services on the basis of lower prices and cost, how much it costs to them. So these are the kind of scenario, few things I have already shared with you. But now I come back to skills that you want to have, you want to build on in this 2 years of your stay in the Amity University campus. So, my dear budding managers, what is that one thing that comes to mind? That if you want to really go and develop yourself, the first thing comes to mind, you need to have a positive attitude. You need to have passion to win. You need to have. How can you make sure that you are the best leader or best manager or best entrepreneur unless you do not have a positive attitude, unless you do not have junoon in you, unless you do not are passionate about your dreams, whatever dreams you have for yourself and for the company. And I want to share a few examples, like if you look at today, one example I can see in the government of India, Amitabh Khan, he is the CEO of Niti Aayog. The way he delivers solutions, the way he executes projects, the way he manages things possible, that is where the kind of passion and all these things comes. So I would like to also share with you that the most important quality that you should have while you are doing your study here is all about your passion. You must develop passion, whatever you think you do. So I want to give an example, like our own Prime Minister, Narendra Modi. As a Prime Minister, he is passionate about his dream and dream for the country. That is why he has been so much popular here. And that is why he has still been driving the country positively better than any other leader. And you look at the example of Anand Mahindra. The way he changed the entire landscape of Mahindra Group. And today, Anand Mahindra see the life. This is one company that I want to tell you where they are thinking about people, planet, profit, all about sustainability. And you look at Mukesh Ambani, the way he had turned around the Reliance Group, the way he has taken the Reliance Group to such a height, or even as a batsman, if you are fond of cricket, how you look at it, Mahendra Singh Dhoni or Virat Kohli. So they are the people who are passionate about something that they want to do and they make a difference. The second quality, my friends, I want to leave with you, you need to build on is the creativity and innovation. Unless you innovate, unless you have ideas which are creative enough, only then you can succeed in your life. You have to think differently. I give an example of Vijay Shekhar Sharma, who is heading Paytm. You can also look at the way WhatsApp has been created. You know, WhatsApp came out of the blue between Facebook and many other similar platforms. And today, ultimately, the Facebook has to buy that platform to become sustainable. So John Conn was the Google, Microsoft, Tesla. These are the example of innovating companies. How they have redefined the business, whatever is happening in that sector. The next quality that you need to have as budding manager or entrepreneur, you need to be flexible. You need to be adaptable. I will give an example how companies are adapting themselves as per customer aspirations. There are examples of Twitter. I'm telling you, the Jack Dorsey Or even one example I would like to, that comes to mind, whom I observe very regularly, Deep Shiv Kumar, Adit Birla Group. As a manager, is quick to adapt. He's very quick to see the current, where wind that is coming on. Gopal Vittal, Bharti Airtel. So some of the managers, they are all leading these companies and making a huge change. And the fourth thing I want to leave it with you about being efficient. The speed is the answer for companies, how much and how quickly you can deliver the solutions or service or product. That will be your key game changer. You look at how Amazon has changed the entire way of doing e-business. And you know how we came across about example of Flipkart, how we came about the example of Swiggy, Zomato, or even Ecom Express, or even company efficiency. If you look at Blue Dot, how Blue Dot manages their operations. You can example, but if they promise something to you as a customer that your document will be delivered within next 24 hours or 48 hours, it does get delivered. So that's where the commitment of speed comes. The company, whatever business they do it well, and whatever they promise, they deliver. So that is called efficiency. You need to have that kind of a zeal in you, that is, how can I be efficient from others? If you are, then company will look forward to hire you, or you will be also creating your own business based on that. Now, the next quality that I am referring to should be executions. You can learn many ideas, you can have many knowledge, but if you do not have the ability to execute those ideas into action, then you are lost out. So you should have a very good idea. Like I would like to give an example of Sridharan, Delhi Metro. A lot of people would have heard his name. He is the founder of Delhi Metro. And now every state government is looking for to have their own metro in their respective state. And many states have already started, by the way. So what was so unique about Sridharan as a manager, that he could have an idea and he can translate that idea in a very perfect manner. So that's where he is all about the executions. How can you learn and make something work? That is your quality, like Amity. The next quality that you should think about, which is to me is the first quality, ethics and values. You know, unless you are not ethically right, no company or no individual can succeed. I can assure that to you. There gone are the days when people can say, I can fool people, I can get away with this. But as we are moving to the next orbit, companies are giving clear focus that people who are coming with clear sincerity of purpose and clear ethical values, they are more sought after. And even company, you see, we had some company in India, you saw they disappeared by overnight. There was a brand called Kingfisher. The Kingfisher disappeared because of simple, they were not ethically right. There are several companies you would come across, they were there, but they are no longer exist because simply they have somewhere compromised the ethics and values of the stakeholders. And what do you say about stakeholder? The stakeholder is also employee, stakeholder is a customer, stakeholder is an investor, and stakeholder is also your own people around the society that you live in and that you make a difference over there. And if you look at the name of two people, I want to ignite you by sharing those names. They are Azim Premji, Wipro. Why Wipro company is so sustainable and so sought after for employment and so good about their own ethics and values. You have not come across any case against Wipro company because it has a very ethical leader, Azim Premji. So Azim Premji, and a lot of time the company doesn't perform in one quarter or the other, it does not make a difference to them. They said, we want to perform for sustainable number of years. We are not here for 5 years, 10 years, or 50 years. We are for ever. You look at the Tata Group. The Tata Group is so clearly following so much of trust values. It is simply for that reason the Tata 150 years, almost a company, still exists because of their sheer ethics and values. They have a culture of ethics and values. Mahindra Group, why they are making so much of news? Because simply the system, the processes are driven by ethics and values. So you please take it for sure. You need to be very honest and sincere and committed. Whatever way you want to lead your business or you want to succeed in your life, this will make a lot of difference. Everybody may not be ethically right. Sometimes you will see somebody who is rising fast, may be unethical. But I can assure you that that rise will be only for a shorter period. Long term, if you want to be a sustainable player to succeed, it is ethics and values. Now, all of you today are in Amity University, and a lot will be taught to you about communication, the power of communication. How do you make so much difference when you speak so well? How much you negotiate when you speak so well? How much you make an impact when you speak so well? How much you win the customer when you speak so well? So communication will be another skill that you must keep in mind right from now. Look at the examples of even our own Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Whenever he speaks with complete preparation and he speaks with a lot of confidence. Or Mr. Prasoon Joshi, who is the Asia Pacific chairman of Mac Erickson, is another example I want to share with you. Look at the example of even, there is a lady, Miss Robert of Good Morning America. The way she compares the program for 1 year, one hour, you will fall in love with that person because they speak so well. You feel like, yes, what is that I want to hear? I want to hear this person again and again. So that is where you have to develop the art of communication. The power of communication will help you a lot in going forward, in making a good manager, good leader, and good entrepreneur. The next thing that you should keep in mind that how do you really make yourself so relevant across the globe. Because today you are studying in Amity University, but for you the job market is around the globe. You can be hired in Japan, you can be hired in America, you can be hired in India, you can be hired even Chennai, or for that matter in Mumbai. So what is that? So you need to know, if you are working in Jaipur, you have some skills. What I'm referring to cross-cultural skills. The Jaipur cross-culture may not be relevant in Chennai when you work. Now, when you work in Mumbai, that cross-cultural skills may not be relevant when you work in China. And when you want to work in America, the way we greet people, the way we handshake people, the way we eat people, the way we treat our customers, the way we treat our stakeholders, everything may be different in different geographies. So you need to keep in mind, how do you adapt to the respective culture or the values of that country. The way we do Namaste in India, that Namaste may not be as relevant as if you go to America. So with that, you need to be adaptable to respective geographies. If you go to Chennai, I want to give an example. The way we say in North Delhi, we say good morning or we say Namaste, Namaskar. In Chennai, if you say Manakkam, it will be more appreciable. You will be more welcome. So you have to adapt to the respective geographies. The next thing that I want to tell you, you all have experience about the uncertainty, and because right now there's no better word than uncertainty. This all of us are referring to. But in this time, the companies are tested. In this time, the leadership is tested. In this time, you as budding managers or entrepreneur will be tested. What is the few things that you need to imbibe? What is the few things you should learn in surviving in uncertain times? This COVID-19 has learned so many things to many people, and it has challenged the way the things were earlier done. Now today you are having your orientation program through digitally. So why it is happening? Because have that physical program, because the COVID-19 is as such disease, you can't assemble with so many number in one place. So the power of technology, people have now learned that, okay, you don't have to go for a meeting simply because you want to go there. You can do that meeting by having your own Microsoft Team or Google Meet or even WebEx, the way we are now interacting with all of you. All that will be a matter of possibilities. You explored this. So I want to leave a thought. Suppose you come across a COVID-19 situation or any other uncertainty, you have to look for those opportunities and challenges. Deal with multiple issues at the same time with different characteristics in same frame of mind. Confront a new situation with an open mind. Create a pool of experience based on lessons learned, and that will be critical to manage these uncertain times or these challenges, what I mean to this. So these are the few skills that you need to keep in mind. They are not a rocket science. They're all within you. You have to explore. You have to imbibe. You have to develop them. You have to harness them. And if you have a focused time and energy on those things, you will be able to make a huge impact as a leader or entrepreneur. And I want to also share with you the how do you, as a leader or as an entrepreneur, because choice to be on your own boss or you can work for a company. So you have to keep in mind, before I conclude, I want to just leave with you 5 things. As a global manager or leader, your vision has to be that you must know whatever business you do or whatever business you are into, you need to know about your competitor. You should know who are your competitors, number 1. Number 2, you should know about technology that your business is definitely needing. The technology that will apply to your business. No longer you cannot afford to ignore technology. So technology will be the game changer for your business. So technology you must learn. Third thing, you also should know, for doing your business responsibly or ethically, you should know about regulation that governs your business. Your business has to be on those parameters, whether you will be a sustainable business or you will be a business overnight or maybe for a few years. So would you like to be a business that is sustainable? Then you must look at what are the regulations that I need to for my business area, and that is we refer to ethics and values. The fourth thing that you should know, my friends, that in any business, you will look for partnership. Partnership with employees, partnership with the investors, partnership with your customers, or even partner beyond. Many businesses are today done jointly or with merger acquisition possibilities. So you should know, how do I analyze my partnership? Who is my business partner? And how do I deal with them? If you have that capability of dealing with them, you will do well. Simple. The last point, you should know who are your principal stakeholders, who are your owners of that business or investor of that business, employees of that business, because for whom you are doing that business. Eventually, lot of business models have changed overnight because the stakeholders have also changed. So you should know about those stakeholders. So these are the few tips I thought I will give it to you when I speak to you at a very first day of your program at the university. And I do believe a lot of things, ladies and gentlemen, you will be able to learn from your professor, faculty, your domain knowledge, the marketing or the technology or the HR or for the business, how you do it, finance or any other stream of business that you will do, that will be indeed you will learn in your classrooms. But these are the few things, if you harness when you go to your classroom, you keep these things in mind, you will do very well. So I want to conclude by saying thank you so much to again Amit ji and Vinod ji and also to Jaiti for giving me the opportunity. And I hope that whatever I did share will be some way useful and relevant to your shaping your careers and your building your careers going forward. And you are really in a very exciting times, and you will do very well, better than many of us when we did our MBA. So my best wishes to all of you.
Thank you so much once again for this engaging and enlightening session. I'm sure everyone would agree that we live in a time wherein this pandemic has turned our lives upside down, and it is going to leave with us a new word for new normal. But irrespective of how many new normal comes in, I think those traditional values and those core skills that you have just talked about, we talked about positive attitude, we talked about the passion, the creativity, innovation, being flexible, being adaptive, having great communication skills, being relevant. You also talked about having a vision and understanding of your competitors. I think these are a few things which will be required in any times. They are timeless, and to be able to win the game anytime, I think these are the few things that every professional would need to imbibe in their personality. Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful, wonderful talk. And I'm sure students are going to carry all these things that you have just shared with them throughout their careers, throughout their life, and they are surely going to contribute in their success. Once again, a heartfelt thanks to you. Now it's time to hear it from our guest of honor. He has joined back. Sri Anil Mishra has been a human resource leader with over 22 years of experience across diverse industries, from manufacturing to hospitality, IT, e-commerce, insurance, mortgage, consumer internet services, etc. He has also been CHRO of one Fortune 500 net New York stock exchange listed company, and is also the CHRO of the Indian promoters-led consumer internet companies. As a CHRO, he has driven companies to the list of most preferred companies to work for in India and has gained significant global exposure to all facets of HR and organizational effectiveness, especially large-scale organizational transformations, all throughout his professional journey. He also aims to bring positive change to the lives of colleagues and act as an enabler in their journey to become a better professional. He's a strong believer of giving back to the society and hence make it a point to share his professional experiences with all the budding managers across B School and in the professional forums. This session is also, I think, one of those sessions where we are going to learn from him. He has been constantly involved in the spheres of strategic HR leadership, talent transformation, change management, performance management, leadership development, employee contact and communication, HR business partnering, mentoring, and best employee branding. His past associations have been top organizations like Fidelity National Financial, Just Dial Limited, Tesco HFC, Partney Computer Systems, Capgemini, Oberoi Hotels, and Denso, with a proven track record of managing 10,000 employees-based organizations with a team of about 100 HR colleagues. He has recently started his own YouTube channel by the name Dr. HR, which will cater to the career need of all the students, corporate, faculty, and society as a whole. We are extremely delighted to have you in the panel, Dr. Mishra, and we would like to hear it from you without any delay. So over to you now.
Thank you, Dr. Sharma, for making me feel like a celebrity with that wonderful intro. Thank you, Professor Jain, Vinod, for having me on the day one of students actually joining a batch and starting their career. Thanks a lot, Kamal Singh ji, for that wonderful motivating insights for all the students, and plenty of takeaways also for me. Whatever I could attend, I could not agree to most of your points when you talked about ethics or communication, which are very, very simple. It sounds very simple, but very, very relevant in today's time as well. What I want to do is probably I'll tell you a few stories, my experiences of dealing with people in different companies. But since this is your first day in your college, let me first also kind of welcome you and congratulate you for taking a very critical decision in your career, which is going to really prove very positive and fruitful for you. Yeah. So you have already entered. This is your day one. So let me, in generic terms, give you a few point of advice what you should be doing right now. And this is purely basis my experience. And I don't claim that I am an expert and this is universal truth, but this has definitely helped me out. Now, if it is your first day in college, unfortunately, everything is happening virtual, but assume that this is your first day in your college and you're in the verge of starting your career. And it's unlike what you have had so far in your career, maybe 12th or graduation. This is regarded as your beginning of your professional journey. Yeah, right now in academia. And I'm sure, after this, maybe, 2 years, 3 years, or 4 years, basis the kind of program you have enrolled in, then, ultimately you would get into corporate. But first thing first, today, your focus has to be, at least, when you are, in your academic career, when you have taken up this course, I have got just 3-point agenda for you. Number one is, start meeting up with as many people as you can. What I mean is, of course, it's happening through a webinar. Everything is virtual, but start making friends starting today and introduce yourself. Let also try and understand who is the other person, and that is a right kind of a beginning that you would need. Number one. Number two, whenever things are back to normalcy, then try and have as much fun as possible. It's no need to take everything onto you. Okay, these many competencies. I don't know. I enrolled in this program already. I have got my parental pressure saying that, hey, we have paid the fee and everything. Now you got to successfully complete this program and start getting a better corporate placement post 2 years. So don't think of 2 year down the lane or 3 year down the lane how things are going to be. So have as much fun as possible. But have fun with a purpose. Have fun, nobody would stop you, but then, not at the cost of not focusing on academia, which is very important. Third thing is, I was listening to Professor Jain in the morning. He said that, you have a wonderful cafeteria in the campus. So that's a great news. Typically, when you have students from south or from different places, different geographies, people say, hey, you know what, I'm typically homesick, I'm used to sambar, rasam and those kind of stuff, and I altogether I do not get anything of that sort. That's fine. The food habit is very personal to all of us, nothing wrong in that. But my request to you would be, the more you are adaptable, the better it is going to be for you and for your future. So these are minute stuff, that should not really bother you. The more you start imbibing and getting adjusted to a new culture, the better you are prepared for corporate world, because plenty of uncertainties. Now also during this discussion, we were talking about this is the new normal. Otherwise, we would have done this orientation program in that swanky 150-acre campus, but this is the new normal because of the COVID-19 situation. Probably we were not able to invite people to go to campus and have a look, feel, and experience the overall facilities, experience the joy of meeting new friends, making new friends. That is unfortunate, but the beauty is, what I want all of you to take home is, there is nothing called new normal. Every time you would be forced to face different kind of situations, which would be most of the times not in your control. So what do? You need to have those survival skills. You need to have those skills to adapt well. you need to have the skills to even excel in those adversaries. The more you do, the better you are prepared. And going back to my original point, what I strongly believe is there is nothing called new normal. What is probably new normal today, organizations or individuals are going to adapt, and they would find out newer ways of getting adjusted to that norm, and something new will again come up in future. Who knows? Today it is COVID-19. Tomorrow something else might come up, and this is the future. How do you cope up with this uncertain time and yet emerge as a victorious is very, very important. And the starting point for that is, no, I am adaptable. I am homesick, but at the same time, slowly I pick up those skills of getting adjusted to multicultural, multiple religion, multiple ethnicity, plenty of diversity, inclusion. The more you accept things, the more you are in a steady state, observe things, adapt it, the better you are prepared to handle or tackle the uncertainty future of tomorrow. So these are my initial thoughts. I thought that, definitely I would want you to focus on these aspects. But yes, the moment you are in a professional course, the seriousness, the expected seriousness is also quite high. Unlike a BCom program or a MCom program, in our time, see, I belong to a very small town in Orissa. So typically what we were taught is whatever you do, you got to be academically really, really good. If you are academically well, then everything, rest of the things will fall in its place. That is the kind of value system we were inculcated. We were taught in the initial days of our life. And then typically for us after graduation, what? Go for post-graduation. No direction, no sense of professional values, no sense of, probably opportunities. Everything was limited. You guys are super blessed. Your parents were supportive. You yourself have earned a ticket to enroll in this beautiful program of Amity, and that too in an exotic place, city like a global city like Jaipur. So make best use of this. Interact, build up your networking skill, and the very purpose why typically there is a mad rush to enroll in those professional courses, precisely for the reason that this is going to take care of your life skills. In the morning on, and also Kamal Singh ji was mentioning about communication. Yeah. So, and these are the soft skills. I hate to call those soft skills. For me, if you are good at communication, if you are good at taking people along, if you are good at motivating people, if you are good at design thinking, these are the skills that is required for every sphere of life. Whether you are in HR, you are in finance, you are in management, you are in engineering stream, if you are good at those so-called soft skills, which I hate to call soft skills, reason, the moment you say these are soft skills, people tend to behave, okay, coding or Hadoop or probably some engineering stream, these are hard skills, difficult to acquire, and soft skills so easily available hai. No, for me, these are life skills, because the more you are fine-tuning your communication skills, your presentation skills, your data analytics skills, your ability to network with others, these skills, the better, or the chances of you climbing the organization ladder is even more faster. And hence, to me, these are life skills. And hence, these are the skills that we got to be taking up with utmost importance. These are more serious skills that we got to be acquiring in the next 2 years. Now, the bigger challenge is, okay, taken, these are life skills, but how do I hone my skills? Now, typically the difference in management colleges and any other traditional courses are, here you would get plenty of presentation opportunities. Here you would get methodology of learning is through case studies. Here you would get an opportunity to work in teams. So far probably in our graduation or probably in our +2 or in 10th, we have learned that getting 99% scores is great, right? So all of that always focused on your individual brilliance. Yeah, what I mean is, in a class of, let's say, 100 students, there is only one topper. In my university, I was also gold medalist. But then when you actually join corporate, then you go out and you behave as if hey, you are the gold medalist, and then rest of the people are number 2, number 3 type. Then you fall very flat on your face. Academics is very, very important, but the reality in corporate world is your individual brilliance is of no use. What is of use and importance is, do you have the ability to work in a group? Do you have the ability to take people along? Because when you join tomorrow an organization, you have to work with people, a group of people, and your efficacy, your effectiveness would be determined basis how well you gel with the rest of the people. What is your extent of camaraderie? Do you listen to others? Do you reach out to people, help out people when they are in need? These are the things that would differentiate. And hence, the reality in corporate world is move from individual brilliance to team-based approach. And this thing you would get to learn in those management colleges. And the curriculum is designed in such a manner that you would be forced to work in team. And that would make you industry ready. And hence, prepare yourself to embrace this change. Probably what you have not experienced so far in your academic career. Very, very important. Now, all of us are faced with this unprecedented time, and nobody was prepared fully to handle those unprecedented times. Because of this COVID-19 virus, all of us, irrespective of organizations, this is industry agnostic. Everybody is compelled to think differently. And in that scheme of thing, I see my daughter who is in 5th standard. Primary schools also have completely changed their methods of imparting knowledge. The teaching methodology has gone through a change. Everything is virtual. So all of us were not prepared. In the initial time, we have had our technological related challenges, initial hiccups, but now everything is working fine. And people adapted very fast. And that is very, very key. So what do you do when you do not get an opportunity or mind you, this virus is here to stay. If I have to believe what I am seeing in newspapers, what I am reading in different journals and on TV channels across the globe, the understanding, and we have come in terms with this, the virus is here to stay, at least for another quarter, that's for sure. But we do not know for how long. But if that is the so-called new normal or the challenge right now, what do? We need to find out ways to peacefully coexist with this virus. At least till the time, at least we have the vaccine in place. Yeah. So my initial input to you would be, do take care of your health. That is very, very important. So when we talk about industry or industrial revolution 4.0, what it means is, when we talk about the era of digital savviness, you guys are blessed. Typically, you were born and brought up in digital era when there were high-speed internet. We were not blessed like this. The benefit with your population, your generation is, you have the competitive advantage of being born and brought up in digital era. Yeah, when you have Snapchats and Twitter and and plenty of other social media. So that is your mode of learning, whether it is working from home, learning from home, or learning from your campus, hardly it should matter. Your ultimate objective is how fast and how depth-wise, how fast and how soon can I learn and acquire newer tricks of managing people, managing businesses through this program. So my request to you would be definitely focus on curriculum, because that is the principles. These are the models, different techniques that would help you out in understanding the foundation stone, the basic foundations of management or engineering or law or any profession for that matter. That would set the base right. That is called principles. And the other thing is, how do you apply whatever you have learned in your day-to-day work life is called practices, which probably you would learn actually when you join a corporate. But B schools or engineering colleges or your law practices would actually help you out in creating simulation cases in a real life kind of a scene, how to behave if this is the kind of situation you are forced to behave, you're forced to operate in. So that would prepare you, or it will enhance your readiness to take up challenges future. Now, let me ask you few difficult questions. Today is 2020, the first day of your induction. Now go back to 2022 or 2023 or 2024. The year, hopefully if you do well, you will pass out from the institute and you are ready for campus hiring. I know all of us, we join a program with the hope that it will give me better job prospects. And rightfully so. We invest our money, time, and effort, and hence this is serious business. While intent-wise this is serious, nobody should stop you from having fun and have that fun to the fullest. At the same time, end objective is 2022, 23, 24. How can I pass out this program with flying colors and get a placement, job placement of my choice? Now, if this is the end you have in your mind, at least the short term, and that's why you joined this program, let's get back to 2023 or 22 and cut to 23 and the placement scene. My fundamental question to you would be, what do you think today, if that is the scenario and objective you have in your mind, what do you think? Who are your competition? I think Kamal Singh ji already touched upon this subject, but nevertheless, very, very important, and hence I want you to think about this. Who are your competition? If your batch size is 200 people, everybody except you is your competition. And it's not in a digitized, when we talk about industry 4.0, then in a digitized world, it's not confined to only Amity University, Jaipur, and rest 199 people. They are your competition for sure. But then in Jaipur city alone, how many B schools are there? All of them are your competition. In India, how many B schools are there? Why India? Across the globe, you have China, Japan, Russia, UK, US, in a digitized, connected world, everybody except you is your challenge. Now it's scary, right? The fundamental question you need to start asking yourself is, why should anybody hire you? What is that you got to offer to a company? Ask this difficult question today and have your career path or your overall growth thing from today till 23 or 22 planned right away. Don't stress out, but having said that, it is very important to have that plan in the back of your mind. Now, the difficult question we need to ask ourselves is, why should a company hire me? What is that I have in terms of my offerings? In management parlance, we call it our competitive advantage. But I don't want you to get confused. In simple term, it needs to be told to young mind that what is the offering, the unique offering that you can give it to a corporate which is relatively not there with probably your competition. It could be your digital marketing skill. It could be your ability to stand up, challenge the status quo, and make a wonderful presentation. It could be your unique skill of cross-culture collaboration or your networking. If I say Vinod, then everybody would know. Everybody would know. So, do I have that ability? And how can I create that visibility? What is my network directedness skill? Meaning, how many people know me in corporate world? Can I write a wonderful white paper which I can think of publishing, and that would get me the required attention from corporate? And that would be the starting point for me to reach out to CHROs, CEOs, CFOs. Otherwise, nobody is going to entertain. Even if you send a request in LinkedIn or in any professional firm, why should anybody? Because there are thousands of such invites you get. So the starting point is, can I create my brand visibility? And there are no shortcut. The only way to do that is think about it, innovate. And now, innovation is something very, very important I want you to understand. There are two quick differences between innovation and invention. Invention is when you create something new for the first time. Innovation is when you do a quantum, a tiny, tiny improvement every day and in each and every way. If you do those innovations, then in your overall career, in your overall profile, in your overall academia, then that's how it's going to help you out. And mark my words, in the initial days, let's say, first 3 months or 6 months, most of us have struggled in our career in understanding what is this organization behavior, what is this labor law, what is this digital marketing, what is this principle and practices of management. So completely new concepts. So what is this, law or accounting principles or plenty of other stuff. But have patience, that's okay. All of a sudden you would get used to those technical jargons and do your deep dive. Unfortunately, my apologies if I'm sounding negative, but unfortunately the education system in India focuses more around theoretical construct and very less on application of knowledge. Yeah, in the Western world, maybe 75% is application of knowledge. You try and learn the concepts or management principles through maybe activities. So unfortunately, that is something where we need to do a lot of catch up, specifically in Indian academic system. Nevertheless, it is definitely better than any other regular off the mill kind of a program. So from that standpoint, very, very important. Few quick inputs. So 2022 and 23, what are the kind of skills organizations would want to have? Definitely digital savviness, meaning probably I struggle today when it comes to a Twitter, when it comes to creating my own YouTube channel, or probably doing something in tech space. You guys are 100% better. My son is 15 years of age, and he teaches me how to create my own YouTube channel. And hence at 47, I thought of starting my own YouTube channel, and then a lot of learning. So the limited point I want to bring it to your notice is, you guys are blessed. You have that digital savviness orientation more than Gen X or Gen Yers, also up to an extent. Most of you are Gen Yers and Gen Z, preferably Gen Z category. Very, very important. So hold that skill and connect with cross-culture people. That is very, very important. Now, you have plenty of time at your disposal, specifically during this unprecedented time. So what do? Try and pick up any new skill which you think is going to help you out in strengthening your overall core competencies, or will help you out in being unique. So pick up some skill which is very, very unique, which you believe will strengthen your overall brand positioning. So invest in yourself. There are plenty of programs available online, and these are free programs also. Go through that, make best use of this time and learn as much as possible. And you need to practice your presence. This point again I'm repeating, but what it means is write down some probably white paper, or probably create something in YouTube. There are plenty of channels available. Go through that and enhance your visibility. Focus more on your brand building. That is also equally important. And make and build your network. Reach out to people, industry practitioners, and that would really help you out. Whenever you are stuck up, you can pull the strings and still make things work. Skills required for future. What are the skills normally when we visit campuses right now or off campus? What is that we expect people? The recent trend, because of those challenges, has pushed all of us to look for candidates with certain skills like adaptability. Your adaptable quotient has to be very, very high. Number 2, agility. We have a role, but it's in Jammu and Kashmir. We have a role, but that's in Kerala. You being a North Indian or somebody being a South Indian, to what extent you grab that opportunity without any hesitation is very, very important. So be mentally prepared for anything. If you are getting an opportunity, make best use of this. So typically in a webinar like this, where everything is virtual, when you get an opportunity to ask questions, people normally would say, hey, here is Q&A session. So make yourself, make best use of this available option and ask questions which is relevant, and that will help you out in strengthening your visibility and making a mark. Other people would also get to know you. But then for the sake of asking questions, don't do that, but prepare and get into those kind of a thing. Make best use of available time. Third thing, your network ability is very, very important. That is very good. The fourth thing, your design thinking. So world has got plenty of problem. You need to understand, empathy is one more skill. Empathy and sympathy are different. Empathy is putting yourself in somebody's shoes and then trying and helping them out. So problems are enormous. There are plenty of problems available. Can you have a methodical way of thinking to resolve that problem? That's what typically startup kind of an organizations would want to hire people who are very good when it comes to design thinking, because there are plenty of problems. Can you solve those problems in a methodical manner? And don't be fearful of committing mistakes. There are organizations who would allow you to make mistakes. We allow people to make mistakes because the underlying assumption is mistakes are great opportunity for all of us to learn, but make sure you do not repeat those mistakes. But committing mistake is fine. So we must, whether it is academia or corporate world, we must allow people to commit mistake. That's also one way of fostering innovation. Now, these are the great gyan, but the real challenges is we also suffer from this crab mentality. Talking about Indian scenario, and again, sincere apologies if I'm sounding negative. When I said you are your own competition and rest of the people around you, they would be your competition, then what I mean is there are certain situations wherein you are on the right track, people would try and pull you down. That's what typically called crab mentality. And hence, my advice to you is in the form of a tiny story. You will find falcon that belongs to the eagle family. They fly very high on the sky. And you also find typical Indian crow. When you see a falcon, the Indian crow these are the only specimen of birds who would take panga with a falcon. They will go and they will try and poke the falcon. The falcon does not react. What the falcon does is he would try and fly a little higher and higher, up to a point where the oxygen level for a crow becomes almost impossible to survive. And then the falcon would really look up to those, look down to those crow and say that, hey, this is not worth my salt. you need to develop capabilities around you. There is bound to be criticism. There are few people who would get into that crab mentality and will try and pull you down. Anything you go ahead and talk to, probably your professors or your friends or in corporate world, the first thing you're likely to get is, the response you're likely to get is, no, ye kaam nahi karega. This is not going to work. That's fine, but don't give up. If you have that conviction, if you have that perseverance, constantly pursue it, you will find success. That's how the great startups, you take any example, these guys have failed multiple times. And hence, my piece of advice is, whenever you are faced with adversity, you would have only two choices, either fight or flight. Flight is not an option for professionals. You have to take it head on, fight and make it happen. So flight, keep it aside, fight it out even when people are not supportive. And then if you have that skill called perseverance, ultimately you would see success. So these are the quick management learning I wanted you guys to understand, keeping in mind what is that unique proposition you are going to offer to a company cut to 2023 or 2022. So keep that objective in mind. Start preparing from today onwards. Focus on academia, but more importance has to be given to how can I apply those acquired learning to real life cases. And hence, very, very important for me to join hands with fellow students and learn from each other. Peer group learning becomes very, very important. These are the things probably in your subconscious mind, slowly you start and build those competencies through this curriculum. So this is what it is. But very important, stay safe right now and have as much fun as possible. It's not worth getting into a stress level and not enjoying beautiful time of your life. So that's what I would love to conclude it here. Prior to that, very, very important, during this difficult time also, all of us have learned different ways of interaction. Interviews today, what we do is we take interview through face-to-face interaction. That used to be the new, that used to be the normal, how we used to interview candidates. So that continues even today and likely to continue also, face-to-face interviews. Number two, because of those unprecedented situation, we have started interviewing candidates virtually, meaning I can see you, you can see me, but it is all through screens. And the skills, interviewing skills or the way of facing interviews are different when it is face-to-face, to screen, to a telephonic interview. Do you have the ability? The skills are different. Start, working on all those three aspects, because you never know what would be the preferred mode of, reaching out to candidates. So very, very important. All of that, keep that in the back of your mind. This is just the beginning. Have fun. Have loads of fun rather. And I wish you success, happiness, and a lot of learning in your entire journey of 2 years, 3 years, or 4 years program. You are in safe hands. I know Vinod for some time right now. Super passionate guy, heading corporate industry academia stuff. Super impressed with Professor Amit Jain's credentials, the kind of organization he has worked, the kind of global exposure he has got, and definitely these experiences will count when it comes to nurturing your career. So make best use of this. Volunteer and co-create curriculum. Give your ideas. And Professor Jaipur Sharma and plenty of other faculty members, I'm sure faculty members are there. And typically in a situation like this, your teachers are your parents. So with utmost respect, try and learn as much as you can. Okay, but in the process, have fun. All the very best and take care. That's where I would stop. I'll take a pause and over to you, Professor Sharma.
Thank you so much, sir. I can see a perfect today's session, because I think our PVC started with how and in what environment students are going to create their base. They are going to enjoy their teaching learning. Then we had Kamal Singh ji, who talked about individual characteristics and individual quality and professional ethics. And then we are ending with someone who is talking about the teamwork, how to deal with people, team-oriented approach, people-oriented approach, technology, skills, and all that. So I think there cannot be a better start than this session for the orientation program. And thanks to all the speakers who have joined today with us. Thank you so much, sir. And before we wind up this session, I think we have certain announcements to be made. We always start the orientation program with a small havan that we conduct. That Amity, every campus of Amity University, Rajasthan performs havan before the start of the session. So we'll be having a small havan ceremony